Today we're taking a look at the Brooklyn Nets vs Milwaukee Bucks match, which is happening on Sunday, June 13, 2021, and giving you my betting tips and predictions in general on this game. Welcome back to High Stakes. Let's get straight into it. Also, don't forget to subscribe to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos. And if you would like more betting tips and predictions, then check out our Patreon in the link down below. Our new Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. 5 plans are available for each and every one of you. You can get 30 extra betting picks all the way up to 270 extra betting picks per month. Stop wasting hours and hours of your time searching the internet for some fake betting predictions and losing your money because of it. Join High Stakes Patreon now and get the best betting picks and advices instantly. The Brooklyn Nets have played most of this Eastern Conference semifinals series without James Harden, who is the third leading scorer for Brooklyn with an average of 23.2 points per game, the leader in assists with an average of 8.8 per game, and is second in rebounding with an average of 6.2 boards per contest. Harden's absence is being felt more and more in each game by Brooklyn. Kevin Durant has picked up some of the slack and is scoring a team-high 31.8 points per game and is tied for second in assists with Kyrie Irving with an average of 3.6 dishes per contest. Brooklyn is scoring an average of 117.5 points per game and shooting 47.8% overall and 41.1% from long range. However, the Bucks defense tightened up in Game 3 as they played less frequently in a drop scheme defense, which made it tougher for Nets players like Durant and Irving to get to their spots. Durant and Irving combined to make just 20 of their 50 field goals, while Harris also had a night to forget as he made just one of 11 shots, including one of 7 threes. With Harden suffering a hamstring injury in the first minute of Game 1 after missing time in the regular season with a similar injury, the Nets need Durant and Irving to carry them on Sunday as Harden remains out. Jeff Greenfoot is questionable to make his series debut on Sunday. Defensively, the Nets must continue playing with a high level of intensity while making a concerted effort to rebound as a team to make up for their size disadvantage inside. If they can continue to bait the Bucks into isolation ball on offense with their switch-heavy scheme while limiting the Bucks' shots at the rim, they should take a commanding 3-1 lead. The Nets' offense should bounce back after a poor shooting night, and if they can continue playing at a high level with defensive intensity, they will win. The Milwaukee Bucks must improve their overall shooting if Milwaukee hopes to reach the conference finals. In Milwaukee's victory over Brooklyn in Game 3, the Bucks shot only 37.8% overall and during the postseason have hit only 44.9% of their shots. Giannis Antetokounmpo is the leading scorer for Milwaukee with an average of 25.6 points per game but is hitting only 49.3% of his shots, while during the regular season the power forward hit 56.9% of his shots. Chris Middleton is the second leading scorer with an average of 21.6 points per game but is hitting only 42.5% of his shots. Drew Holiday is leading Milwaukee in assists with an average of 7.6 dishes per contest. The Bucks had no answers for the Nets' offense in Game 2, and even if they do execute at home on defense, the Nets have the unique ability to make tough shots and score anyway with Durant and Irving. The Bucks' offense needs to make big adjustments too, and I don't love the value of a Budenholzer team making these key adjustments while betting against Durant and Irving. Antetokounmpo is nearly unguardable, but he has let the Nets' defense off the hook with too many pull-up jump shots and fadeaways instead of being more assertive and finishing at the rim. The Bucks will need better ball movement as their stagnant offense in the first 3 games has made it much easier for the Nets to sag off of other Bucks and clog Antetokounmpo's driving lanes. Better ball movement is a huge key for their offense on Sunday. On the boards, Milwaukee is averaging 56.3 rebounds per game with 42.9 on the defensive end and 13.4 off the offensive glass. Milwaukee's below-average shooting is making their above-average second-look opportunities not as damaging to Brooklyn. The leading rebounder for Milwaukee is Antetokounmpo with an average of 13.7 boards per contest. Milwaukee averages 5.6 steals and 3.7 block shots per game, with Holiday the leader in steals with an average of 1.4 per game and Brook Lopez the SWAT master with an average of 1.7 block shots per game. The Nets nearly pulled off a third straight win as they struggled mightily shooting the ball in Game 3, and I expect Durant, Irving, and Harris to bounce back as they take Game 4 on the road and cover for the fourth straight game in this series. While Antetokounmpo must lead the Bucks, Middleton will also need to play well for them to win. He started the series poorly as he made a combined 13 of 43 shots from the field while going 3 of 13 on threes in the first two games. He bounced back with a huge Game 3 as he led all scorers with 35 points and snagged a game-high 15 rebounds. If he can continue scoring efficiently, the Bucks should like their chances of tying the series. My first betting advice for that game is to pick Nets -2. The Brooklyn Nets are still without James Harden, but they remain an extremely dangerous team. After the Bucks jumped out to a big early lead in Game 3, playing on emotion, the Nets calmly got back into the game and were within a few points for most of the second half. They took their first lead 83-80 on a Kevin Durant 3 with about a minute left, but then the Bucks buckled down and got the 86-83 win. The Brooklyn Nets will look to rebound and take a 3-1 series lead going back home after an 86-83 loss to the Bucks in Game 3 last time out. Kevin Durant led the Nets with 30 points, coming on 11 of 28 shooting with 3 threes, 10 rebounds and a team-high 5 assists for the double-double, while Kyrie Irving had 22 points with 5 rebounds. Bruce Brown added 16 points with a team-high 11 rebounds and 3 assists for a double-double of his own to cap off the trio of double-digit scorers for the Nets in the loss. Kevin Durant leads the Nets in scoring and rebounding with 31.8 PPG and 7.6 RPG, while Irving has 24.1 PPG with 5.9 RPG and 3.6 APG. James Harden continues to miss time due to injury with 23.2 PPG, 6.2 RPG and a team-high 8.8 APG, and Joe Harris is chipping in 12.8 PPG this postseason. As a team, Brooklyn is averaging 117.4 PPG on 48.6% shooting from the field, 43.6% from 3 and 91.1% from the foul line, while allowing 102.8 PPG on 42.8% shooting from the field and 26.8% from 3 in their last 5 games. Durant has been phenomenal in the playoffs thus far. He led the Nets with 30 points and 11 rebounds and made some huge shots down the stretch. Kyrie Irving added 22 points while Bruce Brown chipped in with 16 points. Harden remains questionable with a hamstring injury. The vaunted Nets offense, number 1 in the league, was held to 36% shooting. Game 3 was do or die for the Bucks, and they came out like a house on fire, with big energy. It showed as they jumped out to a big early lead, but the Nets are just too good and they chipped away and made it close. It looked like the Nets would plunge in the dagger late in the fourth when Durant hit a dagger 3 to put the Nets up 83-80, but the Bucks dug deep and got some hoops and foul shots by Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton and eked out an 86-83 win. The Milwaukee Bucks will look to even up the set and make this series a best-of-3 after getting on the board with their Game 3 win last time out. Chris Middleton led the way with 35 points on 12 of 25 shooting with 3 threes and a team-high 15 rebounds for the double-double, while Giannis Antetokounmpo had 33 points on 14 of 31 shooting with 14 boards as the only other double-digit scorer for Milwaukee in the win. Brook Lopez also grabbed 11 rebounds and Drew Holiday dished out a team-high 5 assists. My second betting advice for that game is to pick under 228.5. Good luck to all of you. That's it for this video. Stay tuned and stay safe for the next betting tips and advice.